Okay, excuse my little intro here. Welcome, Art 101 students, to week 3, well, technically class 3 of Art 101. If you remember from last class, we learned about textures. There's two people pointing at me, and a little bit of line art. So today, what we're going to be learning is how to do shading and lighting with a little bit of grayscale. So go ahead, let's give a warm hello to the students who are pointing at me in the corner. This is our exchange student, Faith. Hello. Welcome in. Don't worry, I'm totally going to pressure her to actually do the final project and show up to some classes, so we're all good. Jeff is here as well, and so is Mama Lynn, so huge thank you for them to coming up to the recap class. If any of you guys miss any classes this semester, always feel free to DM me. I do these every week on Sundays after 6 p.m. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with today's class. So everybody pick a board, write your name on it. Jeff, your pointing is getting very scary. Okay. Let me go ahead and grab a marker, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Ladies and gentlemen, today is probably the most boring class of the semester, but one of the most important classes of the semester. So are you ready to learn something today? Yeah, that better be a yes from all of you, Faith. I don't see a yes. Oh, she's typing. Better be a yes coming out of that message box. Aye, Captain. All right, even better. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, please stop pointing at me. You're making me nervous. Today we'll be learning, and drum roll, please. I don't have a drum roll sound, or else this would be perfect. Grayscale! Woo! Alright, so grayscale is what we use to learn how to shade and do lighting. So if you guys want to step a little closer, come like stand right here next to me, children. We're going to do like kindergarten, where you sit on the carpet in front of the teacher. This is an example of grayscale. So this is where we use values up here at the top of our grays to show lighting and shading. So the darker areas are your shadows, where the lighter areas are your lighting. So what you first need to start off with doing, which I will demonstrate over here with the circle, is you need to pick a place that your light is going to come from. This is up to completely you. You get to pick where it comes from. So it can come from here, it can come from here, it can come from here, it even can come from the bottom. But for today's class, I'm going to go ahead and teach you an easy one. We're going to actually have our light source coming in from right here. That's actually the same place the light source is coming in. Yeah, pretty much. Remember in kindergarten where you drew that little, like, sun on the corner of your thing? Imagine you do that every time you draw something. That's how you find out where your lighting is coming from. So, when it comes to lighting on an object, typically the area closest to your light source will tend to be the brightest. So this area over here is going to be bright because it's so close to here compared to everything else. So where do you think the darkest area of this sphere is going to be?
Ooh. I know.
Yes, Jeff? Go ahead. Show us.
I bet all of my fake money that it's going to be right here.
Ooh, your fake money is definitely yours to keep.
I think he's gonna go all in.
Yeah, he's going all in. Anyways. Yep, right here is going to be the darkest area because it's the furthest away from the light source. So what do you think is going to happen to that middle area right there, since we have our darkest and our lightest? What is this area going to be? Any guesses?
It's gonna be not that or that.
It's gonna be mid.
It's gonna be in
there
between.
you go. It is going to be mid. This is what we call the midsection.
Whoa.
So this is the actual areas that you need to look at when you're lighting. So we're going to take our grayscale and we're going to divide it into 3 sections. So here's our first, here's our second, and here's our third. So it goes from the lightest to the darkest. So take a wild guess. What colors would this area go in on our sphere? Just a wild guess.
Obviously the darkest. No.
The lights.
The lightest.
Yes, that is true. So these colors will be drawn here. Now, look, this is kindergarten, guys. Come on. Where is this area gonna go?
The dark side.
Yes, it will go on the darker side. Yeah, it will go in the shaded section here. Not doing Star Wars reenactment here. So that means our middle ground will go in the middle ground. So that's how we're going to
Like
shade
super?
things today. I'm actually going to quickly have you guys go back to your boards. I want you to draw 2 circles on your board.
Quickly. 2 circles?
2 circles.
Just
Just like what we did with our textures where you guys just drew circles. I just need you to draw 2 circles. You can do it with gray, you
I
can
drew
do
like
it with anything
9
else.
circles last time.
Well, we're going to do 2 today, so don't draw more than 2 because I don't have time for 9.
Oh man.
I have 2 egg-shaped circles.
Perfect. That it can be any shape you want. Remember our trick about going over it multiple times to make it more of a circle.
That is so true.
Fate,
I
in
thought
case
about
you
doing
didn't,
that, but
I know
wasn't
you weren't
sure.
here for it, but just as a quick tip, when you're drawing circles, especially in Rec Room, if you go over it once, it tends to be a little bit messy, but if you go over a circle multiple times, it slowly turns into more of a circle. So I always recommend using that if you're ever
I
gonna draw
wasn't sure
circles.
if you guys wanted to
Yeah, no,
like,
that's perfect.
do the troubleshooting.
Troubleshooting, that's typically what it's called. I love that word for it. It's a troubleshooting method. Yeah, go ahead and try doing it like that if you'd like. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can always be messy.
I hate that word for it.
Troubleshooting? Is it because you do circuits and you don't like the word troubleshooting?
Probably.
I feel that. All right, go ahead and change your marker colors to the brightest yellow on the palette. Don't use do not use the grayscale thingy and the custom colors. Just use the palette color. Alrighty.
Yellow.
Yes, yellow, the light yellow. I want you guys to.
Yellow.
Oh, are we
There's
making
2
it colors
yellows.
then?
All right, I'll give you a name. It's called pineapple.
Thank you.
Oh.
Go ahead and use pineapple, and then do 2 different points for each circle where your sun is going to be. So you can do it from the top, from the sides. I'm just going to do it from 2 different directions on here. And then we're going to practice using our lighting a little bit. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my appearing online to all real quickly. Just so I don't get notifications during class.
I cheated.
Alrighty, so the next step I need you guys to do is go ahead and open your color palette real quickly on your maker pen. Oh, no, your maker pen. On your marker. And scroll all the way down to the colors. Through all the colors. You should see a bunch of gray colors, starting with white, mist, fog, gray, slate, smoke, charcoal, and black. So today's project, I want you guys to only use these colors. Do not go to the custom colors. I want you to only use those 8 shades. Okay, that's your grayscale for today. So remember how we drew it up here? That's your palette. So from your lighter to your darker colors. Okay, I want you to start off with your white. So we're gonna start off with our lightest section possible on our circles. So go ahead and click your white, and then quickly watch what I do. With spheres, the lighting is a bit different because it's a round shape. If you were working with a square, your lightest area would be touching the corner, but because it's a sphere and it kind of bounces light off in a circular form, your lightest area is actually going to be slightly off of the corner. So it's going to be kind of like this. So it's not quite on the corner of everything, but it is still towards the light source. So go ahead and go back to your boards and draw this area with your marker. It doesn't need to be perfect, but just remember it's not quite on the edge. There is still a little bit of space. And then go ahead and fill it in if you want to. I'm just going to do a little bit of like scribbling. It does not need to be perfect for your practice. Those of you watching the video at home, if you guys want to go ahead and try this, this is a perfect way to learn lighting and practice it specifically with other shapes too. But for today, I want you guys to do it with a sphere, just because it's not a sphere. Yeah, no, a sphere. No, that's definitely a sphere because it's one of the hardest shapes to color. So if you understand a sphere, you'll understand all the other shapes. Alrighty.
Looks like an eyeball.
I understand how circles work.
That is totally good. No, that's perfect. You both are doing really good. Oh my god, you all 3 got it. Hopefully by the end of this, you will fully understand how a circle works.
Yay.
Alright, if you guys are ready, let me go ahead and show you the next part. So what you're going to do is take your lightest area and slowly start getting darker with your colors. So from your lightest area, I'm now going to use my mist color, and I'm going to go ahead and, in a similar method, start drawing in my second darkest color. And as you guys might start to see, is the area closest to the light source won't get nearly as dark as my shadow area is going to get. So this is probably the darkest that this side right here is going to be getting. But everywhere else will start to slowly get darker. So now that I'm done with my mist, I'm going to quickly grab my fog. And then I'm not going to touch the area I already drew on, but I'm going to go ahead and start making everything else just a little bit darker. So if you guys want to go ahead and start doing this, if you understand and don't have any questions, go ahead and start doing this with your own spheres. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I just art griefed my drawing.
Oh no.
I'm reporting you.
No.
So I'm going to go ahead and keep going with mine. But if you guys have any questions or need help at any time, feel free to let me know. Stop me for a second. I'll come over and I'll come help you real quick. I keep going to custom colors. I don't mean to. Now really quickly, before you guys get too far ahead, you don't have to stop, you guys can just listen to me. I do not want you guys using the color black yet when you're drawing the sphere, because we're actually going to draw the shadow underneath the sphere. So you're going to want one color slightly darker. So go ahead and stop drawing the sphere on your charcoal color. So make sure you fill it in with your last color being charcoal. Don't mind me, I finished that part, but that looks a bit weird, so let me go and fix that. Nope, that's not right. This one. We're gonna act like I totally didn't erase like half of it, but that's fine. Who drew Among Us back here? Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't have noticed. I saw that.
I wonder who the draw is.
Who in the world would do that?
Who
Lens.
would do such a thing? Very sus activity.
Very, very. Aw, you did not. I get it. I get it. I totally get it. That was hilarious.
Thanks, I'll be here all night.
You gotta sleep eventually, man. I don't think so. I meant to come around and take a look. Give me 2 seconds. I'll come look at your guys' things, give you any advice. But from what I saw when I was passing by, you guys were doing good. Sorry about that. Sister walked in.
Doesn't she know you're busy?
No, apparently not. Totally kidding. She just wanted my car keys.
That is also...
Okay, it's still not perfect, but it's better than what I had done before, so. Ooh, good job, Jeff. That's like actually really perfect. Oh my god, you both got really perfect lines. Makes mine look kind of messy. Oh my god, you all three have really nice lines, and now I feel bad for making mine look all messy. Oh my gosh. You guys are doing good. Don't take it as a bad thing. I'm just looking at mine, I'm like, whoa, that was a lot messier than I meant it to be. Alrighty. I know you guys are really close to finishing, but I want to go ahead and show you guys something else if you guys wouldn't mind taking a quick break. This is the easiest part.
An unk break?
just a quick come up here and watch what I do real quick break. So, with Rec Room, you cannot get the whitest color possible in your magic markers. The only way to get the lightest white possible is by using an eraser, actually. So if you need a color shade that's lighter than the white on your Maker Pen menu, you have to erase the part of the board to make it look lighter. So really quickly, I want to show you guys the difference is if I wanted a lighter tone than this white right here, I actually had to go in with my eraser to get that tone. So that's the lightest color possible. So when you draw your objects, if you need a lighter color than a white, that's going to be what you have to do. Okay? And
I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty much what I want to show you. Oh, what's up?
I was under the impression that you would want to avoid this since the white mixing with the other white does not look good.
It doesn't, but at the same time, sometimes in art, you really need that lighter color. I'll actually take out an example real quickly where I used it. That it does look slightly messy, but it does add to it. So, but it's rare cases you'll need a whiter color than the white. There's just some times where you need it.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't look as nice as the other colors look blending together. So I'm gonna go ahead, show an example where I use this. Here it is. So if you want to see, you don't have to. In this drawing right here, I ended up using the eraser for some whites because the white color I used wasn't enough. But like Jeff said though, it is slightly messy. And it does give out like a darker outline around the white. And this was done in grayscale.
Oh my gosh, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. This is a perfect example of grayscale.
I can scale my grays.
Like Jeff, like you're talking about, if you like look in the chest, there was an area where I used it to get the lighter shade, but you're totally right. It does give off a little bit of like an outline around the color. So it's a bit off.
Yeah.
Funny story about this canvas. When we were drawing it, we were having issues with colors bleeding. So if you look carefully, you'll see little hints of red and yellow and like blue inside the colors. And that was not me. That was that was Rec Room doing that.
I remember that issue.
Yeah.
Me too.
It still happens sometimes, but not as often as it used to.
I'm ready. Oh wait, Jeff's not.
I'm sorry.
No worries, I'm distracting you guys anyways. It's kind of my fault. Tell me to stop distracting you, please. We're already at 18 minutes.
Stop distracting.
Ooh, good job, Fate, with the grayscale palette on the side. Looks really nice. You guys all did really good jobs with the colors. Oh, Jeff, you only have to do it for one. Actually, I don't know why I made you guys both do it. Whoops. I didn't know you guys did it for both. It's fine. You guys just got ahead on your assignment. It's fine. No, we're good. We're right on track then.
Okay.
For anyone watching the video, though, you are going to do the exact same thing with this one. The only difference that we had asked you guys to do during classes with this one was to do it in another color. To practice grayscale.
Oh.
I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. You guys still did it fine. You guys still got the lighting. If you want to do it a third time in another color, you're welcome to. But that's just to make sure you understand how grayscale applies to other colors.
Okay. What do I like more?
But I have one more step for you guys before we move on. That'll finish your spheres
I'll
off.
probably just change this other sphere to a color instead.
No, it's okay. Really quickly, if you guys will come up here, look at the last step for your spheres. Because they're not completely done until we finish this last step. Alrighty.
Okay.
So there is one thing missing on here that this other drawing has. Can anyone tell me what it is?
Texture!
Not quite. Not quite what I mean. More so in lighting and shading. What is it missing?
Shadow.
Yes, this is called a cast shadow. It is the lighting hitting the opposite side and creating a shadow in the object. Typically, this is done if the object is sitting on a flat surface. So let's imagine that ours is. What you're going to do is you're kind of going to stretch the shape of your object out a little bit. And it's always going to be underneath what you have drawn. So I'm just going to quickly show you. And I used black for this because it's darker than the tones we use for the rest of our drawing. And it's just going to slowly stretch out until it gets small enough where it doesn't really matter anymore. So this right here is our cast shadow. You're going to go ahead and do that with both of your other objects too. But remember, it's going to be on the opposite side of where this light is. So if your light is sitting right here, it's going to be over here. But if your light was sitting right here, it's going to be right here. So it kind of makes like a straight line going through it. All right, feel free to continue your drawings if you'd like. Alrighty, and then the last step for also video people, but I already told these guys what to do, is in your second circle over here, you're going to go ahead and use another color to do the shading and lighting on your second circle. So I'm going to go ahead and do it with a pink. The best way to do this is to pick your color through your magic marker palette, but then go to your custom colors and you'll see this value scale here. This value scale will actually be your grayscale. So think of it as the same of us using the different tones of the gray, but instead now we're using different tones of the pink in order to fill in our sphere. So our lightest area will again be slightly off of the thing. I'm going to go ahead and just scribble this in so we can do this quickly. And then we're going to slowly take our color and then go down in the grayscale, in the value scale. That's what I call it, grayscale, but in the value scale to color it in. This is how we apply our grayscale to our actual colors we draw with. So we're going to slowly keep getting darker here. I'm just gonna keep like just doing scribbles here because I want to make sure we end this video off where it's not too long. That way you still got all the important bits of the information. If you still are watching this video and have any questions, feel free to DM me or Kenzie. We are happy to help you out with anything you may need. And then I will quickly finish this and then explain what your homework will be before the next class.
Before the next class, Linz.
And don't skip on the class just because you haven't finished your homework. It's okay. I totally believe you.
Oh, I have proof I was with Cow.
Totally believe you.
Here's video proof.
I was just not here.
I actually have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So, it's, how do I explain this?
It's okay. I'm right here.
So the light's coming from down here for this one. If it's sitting on a table, how wouldn't the shadow would actually be on the wall, would it not?
If you had a wall behind it, yes. Let me quickly grab a marker. I'm going to slightly draw on your board, but not fully. So let's imagine that the floor is right here, but your light source is coming from down here. Your shadow would actually be coming from here and from here.
Okay. So you kind of see it because it's behind it.
Yes, but if it were on a wall, your cast shadow would actually just be like here.
Right. Okay.
So
if it's just like floating in the air, it would be the same thing where it would be.
If it were floating in the air, honestly, you wouldn't. It would either be on the wall or you wouldn't have a cast shadow at all. So if you want to act like it's floating in the air, don't even worry about the shadow.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and erase what I drew on your board real quick, because now I feel bad that I just almost touched your drawing.
How dare you? have to redo it anyway because you didn't tell me I had to make that one colored.
No, you don't have to make it colored. It's totally up to you. If you understand how grayscale works and think you can apply it to colors, you'll be fine. It's just a way for me to know that understand how it applies to actual colors too.
If you think I'm not gonna make that thing purple,
Okay, go ahead and draw it purple. But for the sake of class time, I'm gonna quickly explain what your guys' homework is and end the video here because we're already at 25 minutes. Okay, really quickly, students you here listening as well, this is actually your homework. This is only for people who didn't get to make it to the class or are only watching the videos, just because you didn't have class time to work on this. What next step of the class is going to be is you're going to spawn in the drawing we've been working on for the past 2 classes, which was the pistol or the sword or the coconut bomb, and you're actually going to pick a light source. So you're going to pick where your light is coming from, make a little doodle in your corner of a sun, and then draw in your shadows and your lighting areas. Remember to go the lightest point from your drawing is the lightest area, and the furthest away is going to be the darkest. So just make sure you draw in some shadows and such, and then we'll ask you guys to show us that by next class. But that should end with your prop drawing. So once you complete the shadows and everything, you should be done with it by then. So we're going to ask you guys to see it next class. So don't forget to do it. If you run out a little bit of time, just feel free to message us. But otherwise, that concludes this class session. Thank you guys for joining again. Thank you to Jeff, Mama Lynn's, and our exchange student Fate for joining us for this lesson as well. And we will see you guys in the next class. Remember to stay creative and view the world in color. Peace out.